and welcome to Rainy Day Crafting. Okay, today I'm going to do a couple of, I feel, quite easy but effective new home cards. There's lots of people moving and things, and so I want to show you the dies I'm going to use. These are really very basic dies, but rather than now show you how to cut them out, I'm using this one, which I believe came from that Zoom. Yeah, no, I did notice the other day they still have these, and I've had this years. But it cuts really well, so I'm going to use that one. This is how I keep lots of my bits and pieces. I just use those sheets of magnetic sheets in folders, and I've like got house on there. And I'm also going to use this one, which I've already cut out, so I shall show you. But so I've got all sort of housey bits and pieces, whether it be a pumpkin, a house, so they're all together really. So when I then want to use this one here in particular, it's quite elaborate, but as you'll see what I'm doing with it in a minute. And this was it. I think it was that, that X-Cut make, that one. But what I wanted to do as well, but I can't find my little stamp. But fortunately, this is another thing I do, which I think is an easy tip. If you've made some cards and you have some bits left over in the making of the cards, keep them. And then if you keep them in the same place, when you start to go again, which I had actually forgot, I'd made all these home sweet home, sort of for sale boards type thing. I'll show what I'll do is show you how I made them, but unfortunately I've mislaid my little stamp. So anyway, I've got sort of 2 or 3 of those anyway, so that's fine. But I've looked everywhere where it can be, so I don't know. I'm hoping it's not gone in the bin. Okay, it's only a little stamp, but anyway, lost it. So these are what I'm going to use, but just to make it easier, I've already cut them out. But I just also want to show you here this paper. Sometimes, you look beyond your stash as it is, because that paper, I think, okay, big flowers, what are you going to do with it? But you probably can see I've already cut out the house there, and I've cut the other house there. And this paper, this was just some big, 12 by 12 sheets, with some green, and as you can see, I've done exactly the same there. But, you look at that and think, okay, what can I do with that? But, that green's quite lovely. But what I now want to show you, these are ones that I have cut out earlier. So although, yes, this is just a die and you're cutting out, it's a bit more to it than just that. But you know me, I do tend to think, less is more. But I personally believe this is quite a nice finished card when it's finished. So what I've done, just to sort of let you know, obviously with this I cut the green out, put it through my Big Shot or whatever, whatever you've got. So I cut one out like that. I then cut another one out of this design, which, like I say, when you look at that there, the colour in the trees and that is lovely. And the little house, okay, there's a little bit of a flower there, but anyway, so there's that and that. And then I cut the path out again with just literally a scrappy piece of something. So this is where it was the top, because I just didn't want to, we end up cutting our plates anyway, don't I? But I do tend to, if I'm cutting out, just for one bit, I still put another piece of paper, card or something in the way. So the card size I'm going to do, these cards, this is just A6. They come with the envelopes from Hobbycraft. So, like I say, this is quite easy. So, I have forgotten. The other day, if you watched my, I can't remember which video it was, but it was the last video where I did some using this sort of stuff, some packaging to do some colouring on. Well, basically, this is a bit that was left over. So I'm going to use that, if you can imagine, as the backing. So I will have to cut that down. I suppose no time like the present. I think that's quite a good size otherwise. And that's almost got like the sky bit. So this was just done with my Distress Oxides on a bit of that packaging, those 2 colours. And this was the second one I did, if I remember. I printed one out and then printed another, if that makes sense. If you look at the last video, you'll know what I'm chatting about. So, right, so I just need to cut that down. About right, it's just not very square there. Let's have a little look if that's there. Hopefully that's more square. Just so it's got a little bit of a border, maybe just a little bit off the side. And pop that out of the way. So let's move them out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So basically that's going to be going on there, but just for easiness now, if we can put it all together. So I think the trees and that are quite lovely there, and it looks quite nice on that colour scheme, doesn't it? So, oh, they just hang over there just a little bit. It won't matter too much. Hang on. Maybe I might just have to cut that piece off there, which is fine. So then with a pair of scissors, here's the house. So what I'm just going to do now is literally cut the house out. Okay, so that is literally going on there. Yeah, this I'll be cutting alongside here. Just a little bit like paper piecing. Okay, so that will be going on there. Yeah, and then I quite like the design of this. So what I'm going to suggest to do, okay, before we stick that on there, this I'm going to put down on there, and I'm going to put this one, I'm going to stick them in the right place first, obviously. Make sure I get them in the right place, because I want to be able to then put this on here, but very slightly to the edge. Yeah, so you get that other sort of colour come through. All right, so the trigger's down, putting them in the right place. Where's my glue? Where's my glue? Obviously this die, which I've got here, you know, you might not have, but if you've got anything that resembles a house in any way, like I say in my set, I've got like a pumpkin, I've got some other houses. Use any sort of house you've got. Failing that, you could draw a house, crayon a house, paint a house, whatever. So let's just pop that onto there. But the blue sort of sky behind there makes it look quite lovely, doesn't it? Bit more just glue here, just want enough to sort of hold it in the right place. I don't know if you're seeing too much sun on here. It's glorious. It's been windy, but it's gloriously sunny here today, which is good. Right, so now this, like I said, I'm going to put on just to the side a little bit. Yeah, so again, bit of glue. You can use that sticky specs if you've got, which is good for this more intricate, but this should do. Right. Obviously wanted to make it so it fit on here. That then looks if there's a load of trees there too. Okay. Actually, that's come off there. I could have potentially just put that a little bit. Let's see if I put it too far. This is the beauty of when sometimes you put it on with the glue. There's sometimes enough. Right. Now, if I was now doing this without doing it as a video, I would have this on there, which something nice and heavy on there makes it stick anyway. Okay. So now you've already got the trees there. So I'm sort of picking up those other colours. Now, a bit of glue on here. So although, yes, it's just a die, But I think it's quite gorgeous how it turns out. Let's just put the little house there. If you wanted to really fiddle, you could make a point of putting all the windows in, you know, fit the windows with a different colour if you wish. Okay, so that's there. Now this one, just go the right way here. It's a bit textured, so it looks sort of a bit like a path. But this was what inspired me. Was I was thinking, oh, you know, I've got lots of paper, because you do buy more of these pads, don't you? I've got lots of paper that sort of sit there, and some of it is a bit dated, probably, I suppose. But you sort of then think, well, actually, let's use it up. So there we have. Okay, not bad. Now, just to explain how I made these, in my little set here, this, I think it was out of a stamp set that had like a backpack, which, okay, that's the shape. So that, you know, you could use something like, you know, a frame, whatever. But anyway, this I found was ideal size and everything. So I just cut out a few of those. I stamped on here, which I mislaid, my Home Sweet Home. But, you know, if you've got any other sort of wording or make your own wording up, that's absolutely fine. And then what I did was used a dauber round the edge there, just to give it that sort of oldie and not too stark look. And then this is literally, I think, a bit of a bran flake box, because it's woody looking and ideal. I'm always one for keeping bits and pieces. Then I've literally popped on one of these sticky backs. I can't believe I'd actually done them already, so I'd put them away, so when I needed them, they were all at that point. And then that sort of somewhere like that would be ideal, you know. And so that is then going, I think, just for tidiness, I think I don't know, actually, maybe hanging off onto there probably looks better, actually. Work in progress. So yeah, that's about right. So now, enough glue on it for it to stick okay. These little bottles are so handy for popping your glue in, because yes, it put a bit of glue in, but not ridiculous amounts. Yeah. So line it up. There you have, I think, quite a lovely card. So I would then put something like that on there to make sure it sticks in its place. So now over to the other card. I did say I was going to use two. This other one's a bit more, I almost want to say a bit more mansiony. Same principle. Put that out of the way. So again, that same A6 card. This was literally cut out of the same paper. Just to tell you, if you are interested, I don't know if you can still get it, but I'm sure, you know, you can search places. This again was this X cut, which, oh, doesn't show you here, which was this, which is quite an elaborate house. I think it's meant to be a sort of Christmassy one, but I've adapted it just to that bit really. And okay, there's a Christmas tree there, which if you want to, you could take it out, couldn't you? You don't have to have the Christmas tree there. But then, you know, if there's a tree in the garden, that's probably always there, isn't it? Anyway, and it does come with a great big fence and all these people and things too. But anyway, I'm just using the main part of it. Let's put this out of the way. So like I said, I've cut out a couple of those. So my plan was to now stick this on here. That one in particular come with another die that then sort of cut the edge out too. So just make sure you've got all your little bits poked out. I think it's ever so therapeutic, sort of taking all these little bits out. But like I said, if you wanted to cut the Christmas tree off, you could. There's a couple of little, I say, if you haven't got a pokey tool, something like a big pin, safety pin will do the same. Okay, you could sort of make a point of poking all these out. Entirely up to you. So I'm doing the same principle. All right, so let's just pop some glue on. Like I say, my next video, actually, because I'm going to keep on this sort of theme of new homes, or moving and things like that, I'll do a couple of, hopefully sort of time-wise, I'll do a couple of others, or I'll do one and another one. So I try and sort of see what, you know, different things that are relevant or whatever. But to be fair, people are always moving, aren't they? But then if you need to search at a later date and think, oh no, where is that new whom? I shall I shall label up that as such. So now pop this. I probably would have liked it with a little bit more of a border, but that doesn't matter too much. Now, where they're coming up, doesn't look like this. This glue, it does allow you to move a little bit. Okay, so that's there. And I think I've got some of that sticky speck stuff, which is ever so good. I think I might have shown you before. It's got hundreds and thousands of tiny little specks, can you sort of see, of glue. So you can sort of get away with just sort of putting it on there, and the next thing that stick down beautifully. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could raise the tree up, a bit fiddly, but you could do it if you want. So it sort of stands out a bit more. Oh, no, not wanting to. Okay. Nearly there, I think, with that. Hold on. Like I say, the trick is whatever glue you put on, give it enough. Ooh, this is quite tough. Give it enough time to dry properly. Now back to this, you could do a couple of things. I mean, obviously there's the bannery there. You can literally fiddle if you wanted to. You could paper piece and put all that back in if you wanted to. But what I'm going to do here is cut out the house. Same principle as what I did on the other one, really. Which is literally just going to go on there. This is actually, this is only paper, but it doesn't matter too much. Now, where these, where's my pokey tool gone? Pokey tool, I've got a couple actually. Oh, here it is. Take all these out, because the gorgeous card that's underneath, which is pearlized, that was almost like show potentially like light through, won't it? But like I say, if you've got some sort of house or something that sort of plays the part, use whatever you've got. All right, so I could make a point of poking out all them other little bits, because again, that will just pick out the card that's behind. All right, so a bit of glue. Okay, so it's not quite as central as it needs to be. Anyway, then I still think one of these there still makes it look quite lovely. So I showed you how to make those. Oh, my table can't be very. So let's just pop, maybe where the Christmas tree is actually. Let's pop that on there. Because I probably just have to make sure these are stuck down better. Either put some glue underneath. So hope you've enjoyed. There's 2 cards cut out with 2 totally different dies, but it's not just a die. We've done a bit more to it. And remember, this backing, the background was done from using some distressed oxides with a bit of packaging, which actually gives you the blue sky and the green quite naturally, doesn't it? So till the next time, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you've got any crafty friends, please tell them. And thank you very much. Till the next time, take care.